Hey guys, Phil here at Woods Tree Farm. It is early October, but we are kicking it for Christmas season. We have actually a couple things that are going to have us busy off the farm on a couple weekends. So I'm a little bit anxious about having enough time and getting ready for the Christmas season. And we're going to have our biggest season yet. This is our third year selling Christmas trees, and I know that we've got a lot to do. So we're getting an early start. This video is to share with you a couple little projects that we had. We actually used pallets almost exclusively with a little bit of scrap wood that we had from around the farm, and I'll show you what we built here. Stick around. Well, for a couple weeks now, I've been acquiring pallets. There's a couple still in the trailer there, a couple on the ground behind me, a couple on the ground there under that thing, which I'll save to share with you in a future video. But that is a thing, another thing that we're going to have to build and set up for our Christmas tree lot. The first thing I'll share with you, and I did share this briefly in a previous video, this is going to be our wreath hanging stand. This was made out of 2 pallets. We just screwed them together, and then we made simple little legs for it. We've got a 4x4 on the ground, and then a board with a 45-degree angle, kind of toe-nailed or toe-screwed into the upright. The upright is a 2x4. That upright 2x4 gets screwed into the pallet, and that goes full height there, holding that in place. So that's a pretty straightforward build. We plan on having this kind of right in the middle of our main checkout area, and we'll have wreaths displaying on both sides of it. I think we estimated that this should be able to hold 5 or 6 on each side, so we can have at least 12 on display. And then outside of our main display area, we also have a couple old farm gates that we use to kind of keep people away from our baling and shaking area. We'll hang wreaths on that as well. And then to hang the wreaths on this rack, we're actually just using these little coat hangers. Well, this was a coat hanger that we bent into this shape. And then we can just hang that wherever we want to hang it, and then put our wreath right on it. So these are really easy to make. You can manipulate the wire of a coat hanger pretty easily in whatever shape you need to, or wherever you're going to hang it. We use the same type of hanger to put the wreaths on the gates when we display them that way. One of you keen-eyed viewers might be wondering, why am I wearing just one glove? Yesterday I was pounding in a steak. I had my hand right at the top of the steak like a knucklehead, and I pounded the very edge of my hand with a hammer, and it pinched the skin right next to my first knuckle. And when it did that, it tore off a big chunk of skin. So I have my hand bandaged inside the glove, and I've been wearing this all day. That's why. The next thing we built is this. That is going to be our checkout station. The checkout station will be front and center within our main commerce area of our tree lot, where we have ornaments and other stuff for sale. But that is just 2 pallets. And 2 pallets and a little bit of extra wood on top for the countertop, and that's it. This is a super simple project. It took us a little while to figure out how we wanted it to go together, but let me show you a couple of things that we did here. So first thing you'll see here is that this side is longer than that side over there, and the reason for that is we cut the pallet in half, but not exactly in half. We wanted it to just kind of keep things simple. So when we cut the second pallet, we just cut it next to the nearest board that was closest to the center, and that made one side a little bit longer than the other. And that just made it easier on us so that we didn't have to pry as many boards off. But I think it'll work just fine. On the inside there, you can just see we put an extra little piece of 2x4 over each junction and screwed them together. So that's how the corners come together. And then up top, we just had some 2x10 laying around, and had plenty of that to do the countertop. I think we did a little bit of a 2-inch overhang all the way around. And then Stacy came along and tacked on a couple extra boards at the corners, just so you can't see our rough carpentry work joining those pallets together. So that was the only extra work that we had to do, pry off a couple boards from another pallet and put them on this one here. And then the final project here is actually just a little photo op. This little photo op here I think we can use for multiple seasons and multiple events, but I think we're going to paint hot chocolate 50 cents or something like that up here, and then for a different event we'll just put a different sign on top and say, you know, flowers for sale or something like that when we do a summertime event. But this right now is freestanding, so I just had to sit behind it to show you what it looks like. But a simple little 1 pallet here is the main frame. Actually, it's a part of a pallet. We cut a pallet off at about 32 inches high, I think. We put 1 piece of old fence board on top. I ripped a fence board lengthwise to make this little side piece, and then another piece of old fence board up top here. So super simple. I think this came together in like 20 minutes, and I think people are going to love it. So we'll just end up putting a couple T-posts into the ground and tie it or zip tie it to the T-post behind the pallet here, and then people can just duck behind it and take their little photos in front of the pond, which I think will be awesome. So there you have it, 3 simple little pallet projects for your tree lot or farm stand or whatever it is you guys are into. We've got the photo op, we've got the wreath stand or other display stand. You could, you know, hang whatever you wanted on that to display it. And then of course the checkout counter, which would be nice because last year we just used a card table, and card table kind of takes up a lot in terms of square footage, but it doesn't really provide much in terms of display space. So this will, I think, fit the bill a lot better than what we used before. So if you got any questions or comments about what we're doing on our farm, about Christmas season, or about anything else, you leave those right below this video in the comments section. I'll answer what I can. Until next time, hope you have a good one. See you on the next video. Bye-bye.